Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Nigel here from Nigel's Modelling Bench, and slightly different camera angle as you can see. A little bit of reflection on the bottom of the box there, but never mind. And yeah, different bit of review for you today. Why have I got this kit? This is a kit I've loved ever since it came out, and when I first saw it advertised, if some of you don't know, this is actually a Zvezda kit. Zvezda is the Russian company. Zvezda is Russian for star. And basically, yeah, Revell and Zvezda and ICM actually seem to have paired up quite a lot with their kits, and you'll see that like the new AN-225, the big Russian freight carrying aircraft, that's actually about to be released as a Zvezda kit, which is unusual. Normally they come out as Zvezda and then Revell rebox them, but it's the other way around with that one. But apparently Zvezda helped to develop that kit, so it wouldn't surprise me with it being Russian. But anyway, I digress. This kit I've always liked, and I was looking through Amazon the other day, looking for basically some 72nd scale MAZ related vehicles, and I also bought a model collect kit as well. But this came up £14.83, I believe it was. What? I couldn't believe it. It's like half price. They actually sell the Zvezda one as well for £28 something. So yeah, £14.83 while it's available, guys. If you want to get this kit, it's a bloody bargain for that money. So yeah, I thought I'd get one. So let's have a quick look at it. The kit is number 03303. As you can see, it's got 309 parts, which is quite a lot for a 72nd scale kit. It's 31 centimeters long, which is nearly as long as the box. And basically it's a level 5 kit. Now it is obviously a little basic because it's 72nd scale, but you know it's I wish Trumpeter, I think probably Trumpeter will make this in 35th scale, and there's also one that's even bigger than this, isn't there? But it would be nice to see this come out in 35th scale. I'm sure somebody's probably done a resin conversion for it that costs about £1 million, but it would be nice to see Trumpeter launch it as a 35th scale kit. And one thing I don't like about the Trumpeter range of these, they've got a massive range of these MAZ 543 chassis vehicles, is they don't have any steering gear. So if you look at the main kit, the Smerch, it's got there's a lot of steering gear under here that's missing on the Trumpeter kits, and it's a shame. But anyway, let's have a quick look around the box. So on the side here, we've got the basically the picture on the side there, and it's telling us that to keep packaging for later questions. It's 2016, and here's the little golden tip, guys. If you look down here, you can see trademark of Revell GmbH Germany, made in Russia. And this is a really good clue in case you didn't know this already and you haven't heard me say it. When you buy a Revell kit, if you're not sure of its history or whatever, look on the side of the box, especially with a lot of their aircraft kits. They're actually Hasegawa, and if they are, it will say made in Japan. If they're ICM, it will generally say made in Ukraine, and here we've got Zvezda, it will say made in Russia. So it's a good one to look for, because you have got to be a little bit careful with some of the Revell later releases. Some of them are 1950s kits, so be a little bit careful. Look down there and see where it was made. So it's telling us here, same information on there, and then we've got the same information on there, and then as with most Revell kits, you go to the back of the box and you've got the actual images of the built model there, which is very nice. Sprue layouts here, you can see we've got all these rubber tyres. It's given us our Revell paint call out colours there, which is nice. Interesting that Revell do these Russian colours there, which is nice. So let's have a look inside the box. It's a end opening box, which is a shame, but hey, for £14 I'm not complaining. And we've basically got everything in one bag by the look of it. Oh, the clear parts are bagged separately, so we've got everything there in one bag. So let's put that to one side, and we've got the instructions here, and straight away you can see there's quite a striking colour. Start one space launch system, Zvezda, Russia. I don't know much about. I have to look up that. That's quite an interesting colour scheme with the red and white flashes and everything on it, so it looks quite nice. And then here we've got the sort of typical tricolour Russian camo, and I think there's going to be a green option as well. So basically going through the instructions here, normal. I'm just going to check we've got no glossy reflection on there, so I'm going to stand up, yeah, make sure everything's okay. So going through the instructions here, we can see we've got our colour call outs there, and again we've got to do some mixes, so we've got that there. Then we've got our sprue layouts here, and these are these lovely modern Revell instructions which are all in colour. And I'm going to give them a shout out once again. Revell Spare Part Service absolutely awesome. And if you saw me, I did a video last week and took it down after very quickly, where I was knocking the Pocket Bond system of actually claiming for spare parts. As it turns out, Pocket Bond have been taken over by Bachmann, and Bachmann's customer service is almost as good as Revell. They took a little bit longer to reply, but to be fair, the parts were here the next day. So I'm not going to say almost, they're as good as. Bachmann have become one of my top now. I think Revell have got the best customer service of anything, not just in the model world, anything. They are absolutely amazing. Anyway, I digress again. So here we've got the sprue call-outs. We've got our clear parts there, 14 rubber tyres, and then we've got 2 of those sprues there, and we've got those sprues there. It's nice they've taken out all the sprue gates because you don't really need them, and it does make things a lot clearer. So we've got 2 versions here. We've got the launch tube is down in transit mode, and then we've got the launch tube vertically there in launch mode, so we can go through the instructions, and we'll probably see here that we've got version 1s and version 2s called out. So we've got the chassis assembly here, which is looking quite complex with all the torsion spring mounts there. Basically, suspension on this was basically a torsion bar, so torsion bar was fitted to the chassis, suspension arm was fitted to the torsion bar, and then it twisted like so. So that was how the suspension worked on that. You had longitudinal torsion bars. So we've got more going on the other side, and some air tanks there, adding some cross members to the inside of the chassis rail. So yeah, this, I don't know why it's coloured black there. I think what they're doing is showing you the outside is being painted is white and the inside is black, but then it goes, I don't know why they're doing that. Maybe this is the parts we're using. I don't know, very strange. Anyway, moving forward, building up the transmission case there by the look of things. And then we're going to put some prop shafts into the chassis there on the right-hand side, or left-hand side. Adding in the telescopic arm there for the launch, the launching tube. So obviously we've got, this is going to be version 1, and then version 2 with the launch tube raised is going to be the longer one. Not sure if you can actually make it work. You may be able to make this telescopic thing up with some tubing, and then actually pivot the rear end up and down. And it's telling you not to glue it, so you may be able to sort of take these in and out. Then here we've got all version 1s and version 2s. This is all different suspension systems now by the look of it. So not sure what the difference is. It kind of looks like the suspension arms are at a different angle. So we've got all these version 2s down this side and all these version 1s. Remember, version 2 is launch mode, so it'll be jacked up, I should imagine. And version 1, obviously, it's going to be sat on its wheels. I'm thinking these are the hubs. So there we go. We've got some decals there. And then we've got all the suspension arms going into the chassis there, and then building up the chassis some more, building up the rear end of the chassis with some toolboxes there, and then we've got some, this looks like an air box going around the front, and then we've got another box here with some ladders on it, and then we're building up our cabs, telling us to paint the inside D. I believe the inside of these cabs should be like a mint green colour. I'll have to check my references. And then going down through here, we've got more chassis components going in. Oh, this is the chassis for the actual launch rail. We've got our mud guards going on, adding the cab there, and then building up the other cab. And then it's quite busy going through, and we've got a load of toolboxes and stuff going on here, and then we've got all the panels going on the sides. And then this is some steering gear that's missing from the trumpeter kit. So there we go, that's what I was talking about. So it's there on this one, which is a nice touch. And then we've got some more suspension parts. Is this? Not sure what they are. So version 1 they're straight, and version 2 they're vertical. They're angled out. So obviously this is something to do with the lifting system. Adding all our wheels and tyres. They've got 2 different types of wheels. Adding the wheels to the chassis. Building up this huge long tube, and then putting the ends on. And we've got the front and the rear end there. And then we've got this, what's this? That looks like some kind of hydraulic cylinder. Yes, it's going under the front, you can see here. So there it is actually in its lifted position. We can see that on the front of the box, I think, from memory. Yeah, there it is, that thing there. So we've got it lifted there, and then in the lowered position there. So quite cool. And then we're straight into our colour call-outs. And we've got the basic Russian green one there. What colour are they using for Russian green? It'd be quite interesting to see. It's a mix. So yeah, and then we've got this tricolour camo scheme, which always looks lovely in my opinion. Looks lovely on a T90 tank. And then we've got this one here, which is very interesting. When I build this, I'll go for that, because I think that'll look quite cool. Look quite different rather than just having the green. The reason I've bought this will become apparent over the next couple of weeks. So let's have a look at the sprues. May as well do this in one hit. So we'll just slice this bag open, or not. So there's a little bag of tyres there, so I'll have a look at those in a minute. I'm sorry, we forgot to look at the decals. Here's the decal sheet. So there we are. That's looking lovely. So we've got all our flashes. This is mainly, these decals are mainly for the space one, I think. 2016 printed in Italy, so they may well be cartograph, but they're beautifully printed, not too shiny, not too matte, not too thick. Bit of carrier film on them, but get a good coat of gloss varnish under them and you'll be fine, good to go. So that's quite interesting. We've got the tyres. Let's have a look at these tyres in a little baggie here. So looking at that, we've got the tread there, which is, I just want to check this is in focus. There we go, got a nice tread pattern on them, not too much of a seam around the middle, nothing much to be removed, no lettering on the sides, and they are quite flat sided, so they're a little sort of featureless there. They could do with having a bit more of a bulge in them, but they're just sort of flat sided, so maybe replace those with something else if the kit looks that nice when it's built. So let's have a look at what we've got in here. There's the front of the launch tube, front cover, and then I've never actually seen a video of one of these firing. Once I've done this video, I think I'll go and have a look while it's uploading. So we can see we've got very large sprues. Got another bag here with our clear parts. That's just some simple windows and stuff, but they all look very clear. Let's have a look how good they are. Oh yeah, they're lovely, really nice and clear. There's a couple of scratches on that one by the look of it. Looks like scratches in the mould tool, but yeah, very nice. Fairly thick, unfortunately, but fairly clear. And the mirrors are also clear. That's interesting. I've never seen that before. They made the mirrors clear, so I guess if you paint the backs of them silver, they'll look like glass. I don't know. So got the front of our launch tube there, which is a separate part. I don't know if that's broken off or if it is a separate part. So let's have a look at these sprues. We can see they're fairly large. What's that, 37 by 23 about. So this first one here is mirrored. So lovely looking moulding, very, very crisp, and all our suspension components. So I'll give you a close-up now. The wheel detail looks very nice as well, very nice indeed. And we've got all these pipes and actuators and stuff for the brakes by the look of it. And then we've got all these, it looks like they're those torsion bar mountings. So yeah, very, very nice. Give you a close-up of this one. We can see here the wheel detail is very nice indeed. We've got a different type wheel there, different style. And then all our suspension parts, detail on them is very, very nice. We've got some little mountings here for stuff, and we've got our chassis outriggers. These are the plates that go on the bottom of the chassis that the diffs mount onto. And then I'm assuming these are going to be feet. These are going to be the big feet that go on the back. So yeah, very nice. And then we've got another one of those there. So that one's a mirror of that one. And another large sprue here. If you notice, all the parts I've kept on the sprues beautifully. It's very nice, nice to see. So we've got some, this is some cab detail here, and then we've got some more suspension detail. This is part of that front hydraulic lift by the look of it. Some lovely cabling there, which is all very nice. Not sure what that is. Looks like that's a radiator grille there with some nice crisp moulding on it. More suspension parts, some boxes and bits and pieces, ladders, some metal, sheet metal work, and then some main chassis members there. Some more there. Very, very nice indeed. And it's also nice to see I can't see any ejector pin marks that are going to cause any problems. But yeah, and close up on that cab detail. Remember, these cabs were actually fiberglass. So if you are building one of these, don't weather it with rust, because they're actually fiberglass. So yeah, very nice indeed. And that, whatever that part is there, the detail on that is lovely. Nice detail around the outside edges there, and that's the front engine cover by the look of things. And then we've got that lovely cabling there, which is all very nice. Quite impressive stuff. And it's Zvezda plastic as well, which is, I think, probably my favourite. I always talk about the plastics. One of my least favourite is Airfix. It's very, very soft. This Zvezda stuff, it's strange. You can hear it. It's quite hard, but it's beautiful to work with. It's not hard like Hasegawa. It's not brittle. It's unusual. It's very nice to work with. If you haven't built many kits, get yourself a Zvezda kit. They are really, really nice. It's good to look at some reviews before you do buy them, because they can be hit and miss. It's the same with ICM. Their later ICM stuff, absolutely amazing, brilliant kits. Some of their earlier stuff is not quite so nice. And it's the same with Zvezda. And also you'll find that Zvezda is normally a very good budget brand as well. They're very reasonably priced. So we've got our main tubes here. And this looks like we've got some mud guards here by the look of it. Yeah, it looks like it's main mud guards for it. Some toolboxes. There's the actual front panel there. More suspension components. They keep popping up everywhere. And we've got some sheet metal work here with the pressings moulded in. Toolboxes there, all very nice. We've got some more toolboxes here. And this looks like it's probably part of that big lift system that goes in the front. No, it's not. That's probably the back of the tube. So we've got this close-up of the front there. There's the front panel with the two windscreens on it, which is very nice indeed. And there's some lovely detail on these on this launch tube, which is very, very nice indeed. Let's show you close up there. That's all beautifully moulded. And then our final sprue, which is really interesting. It's got all our main chassis rails on it there. This is the main frame for the launch tube. Got some more panel work here. This looks like that hydraulic jack on the front. Got some side panel detail there. Some lovely detail, whatever that is. That looks like some sort of cover for something or other that's perhaps corrugated. And then we've got the engine grills here. Some more cooling grills there. Yeah, all very, very nice indeed. I'll give you a close-up there. You can see the lovely detail of that cab side there. And then the same here, that's the inner side of the cab. Lovely rivet detail on there. Looks like that's a radiator. I didn't see an engine in this kit. I know the Model Collect kits have an engine. There's there's our telescopic ram in the closed position, and there's our telescopic ram in the open position there. Yeah, lovely lovely detail on the chassis rails, which is very nice indeed. And they are fairly lengthy at, what are they? They're about 253 millimeters long, so they're very, very nice, very lengthy. It's going to be quite a big old model, even at 72nd scale. I can imagine at 35th it'll be stunning. So there we go, guys. That is Revell's Topol SS-25 sickle. Kit number 03303, and as I said, it's currently available on Amazon as we do this video. Today is the 29th of September 2019, and yeah, currently available for £14 odd in the UK on Amazon. So if you've ever had an interest in getting this kit, now's the time to get it at that bargain price. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you haven't already subscribed, then please hit that subscribe button. And if you have subscribed, then thank you very much. Thanks for all your comments, and thanks for taking me over the 5,000, guys. It's absolutely stunning. So keep watching, more reviews, more build bits and pieces, and I will have another video up very soon of the C141 build. I've been working on that wing box section and getting that all sorted for you as well. So keep watching, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.